I am looking for a producer named Joe Cavallo. Aha! I got him! I got him! Ah! Heck! Nice. Thank you, Nedarb, for the tip. Please, please. Hi. Thank
Hey,
you.
it worked. Sorry, I don't know what was going
It
on, but
worked. It's all right. Don't worry. We did it. And
we
I
did it.
got everybody. You were my last
You
person.
did. That's impressive. I'm not sure. I didn't
Yeah.
know this was you, so.
So, thank you for hanging in there.
Oh, of
And
course.
so tell me how you know all these young men and met Gus and worked with him.
Okay. So, I was living in Boston, I think, when I started working with the guy, like at the time, like Thrax House. So I
Uh-huh.
followed Chris Horse's music for a while
Yes.
and Wicca
Mm-hmm.
Bass's music, and
Mm-hmm.
I must have reached out to them at some point, and we ended up doing a few songs together, and that just kind of like established, our like relationship as
Your
artists. And
friend.
then I moved to Long Beach, California, a couple years later, and
Mm-hmm.
then I got really tight with Coldy because he lived in Long Beach, so we started working together and hanging out a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
I think just like everyone else, probably in the end, it was Nedarb who showed me Gus the music. They just started working on stuff together, and I remember I was like driving on the 710, and Lil Kennedy came on, the song that they made together, and it like blew me the fuck away. So I was like, I have, I immediately like followed Peep and like was liking all the stuff. And oh,
Mm-hmm.
here's Horace right here. Hey.
Ah.
um,
Ah. So yes.
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I like,
Interesting.
I followed him on everything, and liked his songs and posted them or whatever. And he like almost immediately hit me up because he
Mm-hmm.
knew the work that me and Wicca had done, and he was like
Mm-hmm.
really flattering and sweet, and like, I don't know, it was kind of overwhelmed because I was already a fan of his music, so he came into my emails just like really really overwhelmingly like sweet, and saying, we basically were like, yeah, we should work on something together. And I sent him a couple beats that were just kind of like whatever I had laying around that night. And then the next day, I just like had pumped out this beat that was the Absolute Doubt beat, which is not usually how I make stuff at all. So I sent it to him, and I think he sent back just like a really quick little like, oh, this is sick or whatever. But I wasn't sure, if he liked it that much or not until the next day. I happened to be linking up with Ghostman and Wavy Jones. And so I met those guys. We were going to go shoot a video in the desert, and they had me pick them up at this random address in Glendale, which I had no idea was Brennan's infamous house. And so I show up there, and I walk in, and Peep and Brennan and I think maybe LaDerek, like someone else, they were all just passed out on the floor. They'd been up all night, and it was pretty early in the morning. And I didn't even realize that Peep was in California then. And I just sent him that beat. And then I was talking to Ghost, and he's like, "Oh, he was up all night. He was like obsessed with it, listening to it over and over again, and like already writing and working on all this stuff, and like just super enthusiastic." And like as soon as I sent it to him, and then yeah, Wicca hit me up like the next day or something. It was like, "Oh, me and Gus are going to do a song together on that." And yeah, so that ended up happening. So I kind of met Gus while he was asleep on the floor, but
Uh-huh.
then we didn't meet while he was conscious until like maybe a few weeks later at one of his earlier shows. But
Mhm.
that was basically how I was kind of a shut-in, so I didn't hang out with everyone as much. I wouldn't have been like at Brennan's house hanging out or whatever. So it just kind of
Mhm.
like I just happened in that day, the same day right after I sent him the beat, and yeah, that was how I met him.
Wow.
Basically, yeah, just like everyone else through NetArb and Cold Heart and all, but everyone had only the best things to say about him. You know what I mean? It was like as soon as he came to California, I remember the day Coldy came over, and he was like, he's so cool, he's so fun, like his iPod's just full of like us and Good Charlotte, and he's like so sweet and so talented and blah blah blah. So I trusted their judgment, and sure enough, he was.
That's funny. Well, the reason I mean, you had your own place in Long Beach, and the reason those guys were all there was because I don't think they had, they were shacking up at
No, yeah,
Brennan's.
they were just all crashing and all just working on shit all the time, and
Yeah.
it was cool to see that, you know. And at the time, again, I didn't know Brennan. And so I wasn't even really, I didn't realize how infamous and like kind of legendary that scene was to see. And it was cool. It was such an interesting era for all of us because we were all broke and we were all, you know, just kind of like just making stuff we wanted to make with no sort of idea that it was going to turn into any sort of big thing necessarily. It was just what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an interesting turning point. I think CryBaby as a tape kind of like signifies that time era very well, of like it kind of taking the next step, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. So that's so interesting. So because you know Ghost Main and you know like spanning this whole all those guys. And you were
Yeah.
in Boston. Why were you in Boston? That's where I'm from.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I
Cambridge. Cambridge. Across the river.
Okay. All right. I went to art school in Beverly on the North Shore,
Oh yeah.
um, for a year, and my sister lived in Boston. I'm from upstate New York, so I wanted to get out of, you know, Farmville, and
Yeah.
it was a city that I had my sister and some friends in from college, so it was like kind of seemed like the first good step.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford to live in New York City.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I ended up living in Boston for a couple of years, and that's when I started Fox Wedding, and when I produced like Secret Boy and the first stuff I did with GBC and them.
Interesting.
And then yeah, once it seemed clear that Southern California was kind of going to be the like epicenter of everyone who was my friend and like people I was working with in music, I like pretty much set my goal to get there. And yeah, it's funny because I think I think maybe I came out just a little before
Yeah.
Gus did, but it couldn't have been that much earlier. I think we
Mm-hmm.
both were kind of just like new and showed up, and everyone like respected us and our music. But like, it's still weird, you know. I mean, these are all people that we've known on the internet for so long, and suddenly they're in real life right there.
Mm-hmm. And what is this thing about Long Beach? Why do people go live in Long? I thought that was a big like naval area.
Um, it is. It's also
Yeah.
like the big port of Los Angeles. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm Cold Heart was like born and raised there. I'm not sure if Charlie's
Oh,
from there originally. I don't know where he's from originally, but I
okay.
just moved there because if I could afford to live there and not in like LA,
Yeah. Yeah.
loser.
Yeah.
Uh, and it was a good stepping stone. And now obviously I live in LA. I live with Horst and
Mm-hmm.
Mike Zubin and all them. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just was there because it was affordable. But it was cool because I ended up getting to hang out with Cold Heart all the time. We became really tight.
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah, and he definitely like introduced me to a lot of the people who are now, you know, some of my closest friends and collaborators.
That's wonderful. And I'm loving this with you. We've signed a paper,
Yeah,
and
I
I
was,
never knew what you looked like.
I was gonna say it's nice to actually talk to you.
Meet you.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
texted and emailed, but we've never.
Yeah.
This is like our first real meeting.
Yeah. That's right. It's very nice.
It is. I
Uh,
appreciate it. I appreciate it so much, really.
well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your hanging in there. My God,
Oh
that's
no,
it's it's work. I'm trying to get somebody up on this.
I can tell. I was exhausted just watching you.
Oh well.
No, I wasn't.
Ah. Oops. Wait. Oh, what did you say? Say it again.
I was saying I wasn't sure if it was something on my end, so I was like panicking, trying to like
Mm,
close Instagram and
no,
reopen it. Like
I
texting
think.
Richard, trying to.
Well, we have once again NetArt to thank because he
Yeah,
gave a little tip to me to sign out and then sign back in again, and it would work for you. So he's a
Ned's always
pretty,
he's
yeah,
always ready.
yeah, yeah. He knows. He
He
knows.
was like, as soon as he was like, "Do you need me to get fish narc, horsehead, whoever?" Like,
Yeah, funny. That's funny.
yeah, I would say
Well,
Ned is he was a crucial like glue that brought everything
yes.
together and all
Hmm.
of this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the whole loft, he got the loft. Uh,
Yeah,
you know, Gus was very proud of that. Very
yeah.
proud.
I mean, that was, I mean, like I was saying, like legendary kind of imagery of the time at this point.
Yeah, very intense, very. Well, I am going to thank you, and I can't believe it's 10 o'clock. I started this
Yeah,
2 hours ago. Oh my
yeah,
God.
you've been doing it.
It's because I had to keep going, scrolling to find you guys,
Yeah,
but
I think
we
there's
will,
just too many people requesting.
yeah, I think that's what it was, but we did it, and I'm very glad that you're here and that you made it on,
Me
and
too.
I appreciate your work and all the, because I love listening to it, so I'm
Oh,
very
thank you so
grateful.
much. I appreciate you and everything that you're always doing. And again, you've been so quick to reach out to me and get in contact with me anytime that anything needed to be spoken about, and you're always like just on it. So I'm just grateful to
Well,
be included, and appreciate you. Yeah.
it's a good team. It's a good team. I got a good group of people, really good group of people. So, well, we will talk again,
All right, we will.
I'm sure.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Bye, darling. Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
You too. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's my. All right. Well, ooh, God, nobody wants to look at my office. Okay, everybody. We just talked to 7 collaborators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Forgive me, 8. And thank you all for talking about CryBaby and all the work that you all were doing at the time. And if anybody would like to read on littlepeep.com, and if you go into the archive, you will see a lot of the contributions, the written contributions from these young men. And sometimes, if any one of you guys didn't write, you can always just let me know and just open it up and drop it in. So there's always room for an updated, revised version. So thank you all. Thanks, everybody. And congratulations on the 4-year anniversary and re-release of CryBaby. Bye. It's for Gus.